Hey guys, Sean R. sent me 3 pretty interesting locks. I had kind of dismissed them. I'd seen them before, and in fact I think I picked one and dismissed it without too much thought. These are all by Master Lock, which probably explains my attitude. And these are safety locks. They're lockouts. So when someone's doing maintenance on a machine, for example, or a piece of hydraulic equipment, they can lock it on or off, whatever position they want, and that way they can be sure no one is going to accidentally activate it and therefore get somebody injured. The unique thing about these is the body is made out of plastic, but it's got a pretty good locking mechanism. It's got a steel shackle. Typical of master locks or American locks, it has ball bearings that secure it. We're going to take a little bit closer look at this because there's been some questions. And the surprising part about this whole thing is that these are 6-pin locks, and that's even more surprising with the Master Lock name on them. Of course, Master Lock owns American padlock company. These are all security pins. It comes in these boxes. It has 3 tags on them. You can mark it in, of course, Spanish, English, or French, or you can just leave it blank like this one. Now, there's been some questions. Let me move these out of the way just for a second. We're going to pick one of those in a few moments, but I really want to show you something that Sean has created for us. Let me zoom in just a bit. Now these locks, I've had a lot of questions about why don't we just shim master locks. A lot of them are shimmable, in fact, but not this one. This one, Sean has taken apart. Now I don't think they used too much glue on this one. I've tried to take them apart and I did a miserable job. I shattered the body. But Sean did a super job of getting it off, and everything inside is intact. And so you can see our shackle is secured by these 2 ball bearings. And then we have our actuator, and then this is a cutout for these ball bearings to slide into. And then, of course, the actuator lines up with the tailpiece on our lock, and of course the lock. Now I'm going to reach under the camera. You can see how it works now. When we try to pull the shackle out, those ball bearings can't go anywhere. So therefore, if we try to take a shim and try to stick it down inside of here, we can't shim these ball bearings. There's nowhere for them to go. So that's really not an option with this or any other ball bearing lock. Now, of course, I'll try to hold this with my finger. When we turn the lock, you can see now the ball bearings line up with those cutouts, and when you pull up on the shackle, it'll force them into the cutouts, and then it comes open. So that's how the ball bearing system works, and that's what we're going to be fighting when we try to pick these things. So there you go. Well, I've blown that, but it doesn't really matter. You get the idea. These are not shimmable. So the outside of the body is very soft. So we have a soft exterior, but we have a really tough core on these locks. As I said, these are 6-pin locks. They look very much like American cores. The only difference, of course, is the tailpiece. This tailpiece on the Master is cut down just a little bit more. But it does contain a mixture of serrated pins and spool pins, and it's quite a challenge. So let's go ahead and let's take this Spanish one. When I put the Spanish tag on, let's clamp it up and pick it, and you'll see exactly what I mean. All right, we got that baby tied down pretty well. This is what our bitting looks like on this lock. 6-pinner, and I can tell you they're all security pins in this. This is a mixture of serrated and spools in this thing. Something you'd expect more from an American lock than from a master lock. And so that raises an interesting question from Sean. Why don't we use these things for training locks? I mean, they're plastic, so they're lightweight to ship. They're fairly inexpensive, and they have a very challenging core with a mixture of these security pins. I mean, this is really, I'd consider it an advanced lock. So I don't know, other than my own prejudice, Sean. I think maybe that's a great idea. These would be great training locks. Anyway, I'm going to try to use a Peterson gem, top of the keyway, all the way in, and light tension. I know this thing contains serrated, so very, very light on the tension, and we're looking for a binder. And that was pin 5. We got a slight rotation on the core telling me he's set. And he was a serrated, by the way. And I'm looking for feedback. I'm on pin 1. I got some feedback. Got a little rotation on him. He was a counter rotation as well, so he was a spool. I'm on pin 4. I get counter rotation, so we have another spool. and I heard something in there drop, and we lost our fault set, so we're a little bit out of sequence. Let's see what we dropped. Okay, pin 5 was the one that had dropped. So we picked one out of sequence. Okay, that was pin 3, slid into place. Okay, that was pin 3 again. Now he rotated a little bit, so he was also a serrated. I'm on pin 2. We're getting feedback, so he's a spool. Come on, there we go. Sean, I don't know why we don't use these as training locks. Despite being made by Master Lock, it's obvious that they've taken the technology that they got from American padlock company and put super cores in these soft plastic shells. These would be great training locks. Anyway, everybody, thanks for your time. Everybody stay safe, stay legal, and get yourself some of these. These things are pretty good locks for being Master Locks.